Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine
Yeah.
you're in Las Vegas, maybe just finished up at a crypto event, feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Then heading home, boom, teenagers, a gun forced into a car. It sounds, totally unbelievable.
It really does. But it happened.
Yeah.
And the amount involved, just staggering.
Yeah.
$4 million.
$4 million in crypto and NFTs, those unique digital things, art, collectibles, gone.
And what's really striking, I think, is how it happened. This wasn't your typical online attack, not a hack or some clever phishing scheme.
No.
Or even a SIM swap, which we hear about a lot. This was, old school violence, physical abduction, guns, threats, all aimed at getting digital assets.
It's a big shift.
A huge shift. It tells you criminals are diversifying their tactics, getting much more dangerous, frankly.
Definitely. So for this deep dive, we're looking at a Cointelegraph news report that lays out the story. We've also got some sharp insights from digital asset lawyer Sasha Hodder on X.
Right, she had a great take on it.
And there's this, frankly, unsettling list compiled by Jameson Lopp that tracks these kinds of offline crimes. So our goal here is really to understand this jump crypto crime moving into the physical world. And, crucially, what that might mean for you, for anyone in this space.
Okay. So let's get into the Vegas incident itself based on that Cointelegraph piece. The victim, he'd been hosting some kind of crypto event downtown. This was back in November.
Right.
He gets home, and shortly after, he's confronted. And the suspects, teenagers, they force him into a vehicle.
Just imagine the shock. 1 minute you're probably, winding down, thinking about the event.
Exactly.
The next, you're in a car being driven for an hour out into the desert. Against your will.
Yeah, an hour's drive. And once they get to this remote spot, it gets much worse. They pull out a gun.
Oh, man.
They demand his passwords, his crypto keys. And the report mentions this really chilling detail. They apparently threatened his father, said they'd harm his dad if he didn't comply.
Wow. That's just brutal. It really highlights the lengths they'll go to. Maybe they think these assets are untraceable or something.
Perhaps. Or just desperate. And there's another layer here, potentially a fourth person involved.
Yeah, the report mentions someone possibly on speakerphone coordinating things remotely.
Right. Which suggests, this wasn't just some random spur-of-the-moment thing. There was some planning.
Makes it scarier.
Yeah.
So inevitably, the victim gives an access. $4 million in crypto and NFTs.
And then they just leave him there.
Apparently, he had to walk 5 miles. 5 miles through the desert just to find a gas station and get help.
Ugh, that image. The vulnerability after such a high-tech crime focused on digital stuff, it's stark.
It really is. And the legal side is moving forward now.
Yes, according to Cointelegraph, 2 16-year-olds, they're from Florida, are facing really serious charges: robbery, kidnapping, extortion.
16?
Yeah. One's in custody, bail set at $4 million. The other is on house arrest. And apparently a third suspect managed to flee the country.
Wow. And they're being tried as adults.
That's the plan. Preliminary hearing set for June. It's a major case.
Absolutely. And this whole awful story, it really backs up what Sasha Hodder, the lawyer, was saying on X, right?
Exactly. Her post was spot on. She said something like, crypto theft is evolving. It's not just social engineering or SIM swaps anymore.
And this Vegas case is like Exhibit A for that statement.
Totally. We've seen years of hackers getting smarter, finding digital loopholes. But this is a pivot to physical violence to get those digital keys.
Why do you think that is? Are the digital defenses just getting too good?
Well, that's part of it, I think. Modern crypto wallets, they use strong encryption, multi-sig setups. Breaking in remotely is getting harder, more complex, takes time.
Right.
So maybe some criminals are thinking, why bother with all that tech stuff if I can just physically force someone to hand over the keys? It's direct. Horrifyingly direct.
A more direct, but obviously incredibly dangerous path. And you mentioned this isn't just a one-off event in Vegas.
No, sadly not. The Cointelegraph piece itself mentions this growing trend. Kidnappings, extortion, specifically targeting people in the crypto world.
Like the Paris case.
Yeah, just this May, a crypto entrepreneur's father was kidnapped. The plot involved like 7 million euros. Fortunately, the police rescued him.
Thank goodness. But still terrifying that it even happened.
And then there was that incident in the UK back in February. A crypto broker. He jumped from a balcony.
Jumped? Why?
To escape kidnappers. They were demanding 30,000 euros in crypto, threatening torture, threatening to kill him. He jumped 30 feet to get away.
30 feet. Good grief. People are literally risking life and limb because of this.
It really shows the level of desperation and danger involved now. And this is where Jameson Lopp's work comes in. He's, a well-known cypherpunk, co-founder of Casa.
Right, very respected.
He's been meticulously keeping this list on GitHub, tracking all these offline physical crypto robberies happening globally.
Okay, so he's actually compiling data on this. What does it show? Is it just these few shocking stories, or is there a pattern?
Well, the list. It's pretty sobering. It paints a picture of a consistent, ongoing threat. The first one he logged was way back in 2014, an attempt to extort Hal Finney, the legendary Hal Finney, for 1,000 Bitcoin.
Wow, even back then.
Yeah. But look at the recent numbers. According to his list, so far this year, 21 incidents.
21 already.
Yeah. Last year there were 28. The year before, 2023, had 17. And 2021 actually had the highest recently, with 32 incidents.
Okay, those aren't trivial numbers at all. That's a clear trend. It's not just noise.
No, it's a persistent problem. It shows that these physical attacks are happening regularly year after year.
Which really forces you to rethink crypto security, doesn't it? It's not just about your laptop or your phone anymore.
Exactly. That's the big takeaway here, I think. Physical security is now right up there with digital security. It has to be.
For years, the focus was all passwords, 2FA, cold storage, hardware wallets.
Right, all crucial digital stuff. But now you have to add another layer, thinking about your actual physical safety because you hold these assets.
It makes a kind of grim sense, I suppose. Criminals see the value. Maybe they hit a wall with the digital security, so they resort to older, cruder, more violent methods. Plus, with crypto, once it's gone, it's often really gone.
Right.
Unlike trying to get money back from a bank.
That's a critical point. The near irreversibility of many crypto transactions is a double-edged sword. It's good for censorship resistance, but bad when it's theft.
Yeah.
Criminals know that if they succeed in getting you to transfer the funds under duress, getting it back is incredibly difficult, maybe impossible. No bank to call and freeze the account easily.
So that lack of easy recourse might make criminals bolder, more willing to risk a physical confrontation.
It seems plausible. It creates this really dangerous mix. High-value, portable assets combined with the potential for immediate, hard-to-reverse theft using good old-fashioned violence.
So where does this leave us? We've spent so much time learning about phishing, malware, keeping keys safe online, and now we're facing this much more visceral physical threat.
Yeah.
It's a whole different ballgame.
It really is. This Vegas kidnapping is shocking. But seeing it alongside Lopp's data, the stories from Paris and the UK, it's a clear warning sign. The security perimeter for crypto has expanded.
Right. It's not just about protecting your digital footprint anymore. You have to think about your physical footprint, too.
Precisely. It's about personal safety now, directly linked to your digital wealth.
Okay, so just to quickly recap.
Yeah.
We started with that absolutely wild story from Vegas teenagers kidnapping. $4 million in crypto.
Yeah.
We heard your perspective and Sasha Hodder's on how this marks a real, worrying evolution in crypto crime moving offline.
Right, beyond just clicks and code.
And we looked at Jameson Lopp's data showing this isn't isolated. These physical attacks are a consistent global issue.
Which brings us to the key question, really, for you listening. If this is the new reality, if the risks now include physical danger, how do you adapt?
Yeah.
How should your security practices change? What new precautions do you even need to consider in this kind of environment?
It's definitely something to think seriously about. Understanding these evolving risks, the physical ones now too, is just crucial if you're involved in digital assets at any level. It's a whole new and kind of unsettling aspect of security we all need to factor in.